Tim Priester with Tim O'Malley for Irish Illustrated's 1-2-3. The question for today is, which games on the 2020 schedule could be considered trap games for Notre Dame?
Tim, I think we will end up with at least two of the same three, if not the same two. I think no matter what happens to Notre Dame's schedule in terms of midterms or losing opponents, I think at Pittsburgh is a trap game because everyone would be pointing to Wisconsin. Assuming they actually get Stanford to come in, that though Notre Dame's a better team, it's another physical game back-to-back. And then I just think that Pittsburgh noon early kickoff because the Steelers play Sunday has always been problematic for Notre Dame.
Yeah, I think that one's kind of a gimme, especially when you consider that Pittsburgh has the top sack defense returning, a veteran defense returning, and Pat Narduzzi's a pain in the butt to scheme against, and Tommy Rees is going to have to be really good in that game. So, Pittsburgh comes after Stanford. I consider Stanford a trap game as well, even though we know that they're struggling talent-wise and roster-wise, but it's tucked between Wisconsin and Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
So that can be a little bit tricky. Is that a night game? Stanford a night game? Has that been determined?
No, I don't think it's been determined yet. I know Louis. Yeah, just Clemson, obviously.
So that could be, and then I don't think anybody in the Notre Dame organization would consider Louisville to be a trap game because everybody will know that that's a well-coached football team that's good. But that comes A, in the last home game of the season, B, before you play USC. I think USC is a trap game for Notre Dame fans because I think that's a gimme, and it should not be a good. Clay Helton should not be in that situation. But we joked, okay, they'll start out 2-2, and then they'll be struggling all year. But Louisville's very talented, great scheme. Last home game, definitely a trap possibility before USC.
Yeah, I don't think a single coach Notre Dame's not going to consider Louisville a quality opponent. But let's say Notre Dame beats Clemson. You think Notre Dame's players are be worried about Louisville before the USC game? There are three teams that Notre Dame players automatically respect. There's Clemson, USC, and Wisconsin. And if you beat Clemson and you're going to senior day and you have tears in your eyes for a quarter and you're playing, remember how poorly they played for a quarter against Boston College? Yep. Boston College couldn't have crossed the 50 if you took 4 Notre Dame defenders off the field, but Louisville can be a problem. So I think Louisville is a trap. Notre Dame, USC's not as much of a trap as they're just all of a sudden, if they're good or bad, they're going to rise up.
Sure. No, that's why I say I think it's more a trap game for the fans. I would mention one more team, and when we did the talent drain, they lost a ton of talent, including their quarterback to transfer. But Wake Forest is a well-coached football team. Dave Clawson's done a very good job. I think it's going to be a little bit more of a rebuilding year for them, but that game comes 1 week before Wisconsin. So that's one that could definitely trip you up. That is Irish Illustrated's 1-2-3. Thank you for joining us.